What if everything you think you know about the Epstein files is only a fragment and something crucial has quietly slipped past everyone? Before you decide what to believe, there's a detail most people miss that changes the entire perspective. Millions of pages, documents, emails, photos, videos have been released, yet instead of clarity, we're left with gaps, heavy redactions, missing context, and even hidden details accidentally revealed. It's messy, incomplete, and still unfolding, meaning the truth isn't fully out yet. And in the middle of this unfolding chaos, familiar names appear. Names that instantly spark headlines, debates, and often assumptions. One of those names is Michael Jackson. Now pause for a second and ask yourself, when you hear a name appear in something this serious, what do you instinctively feel? Suspicion? Curiosity? Or do you wait for proof? Because here's where the story becomes more subtle than the internet often allows. Yes, Michael Jackson does appear in some of the released Epstein-related materials. There are verified photos where he is seen in the same frame as Jeffrey Epstein. In some cases, these are group settings, where other well-known figures like Bill Clinton and Diana Ross are also present. A particular Department of Justice released image confirms that at least once, their worlds overlapped, captured in a single, still moment. But what does a photograph really tell you? Is it a story or just a snapshot without context? This is where it becomes important to slow down, to separate presence from participation and association from accusation. Because despite the noise online, the released files do not show any verified evidence that Michael Jackson was involved in Epstein's crimes. There is no record placing him on Epstein's private island, no documentation linking him to any trafficking network, and no accusations from victims within these files. Nothing that crosses the line from appears to implicated. And yet the internet often skips that distinction entirely. Why does his name appear at all? The answer is less mysterious than it might seem. Epstein moved in circles built on influence: politicians, business leaders, celebrities, and artists. He actively sought proximity to fame and power, creating a wide and often superficial network of connections. In such an environment, it wasn't unusual for public figures to cross paths with him, sometimes briefly, sometimes unknowingly, sometimes without any deeper relationship at all. Michael Jackson, one of the most globally recognized artists of all time, existed in those same high-profile spaces. Their overlap, in many ways, reflects the nature of those circles rather than anything more. Even within the files themselves, context is often incomplete. Many documents remain redacted or partially released. Investigations are still ongoing, and millions of pages are yet to be fully reviewed. What we see now is not the full picture. It's a draft, still being written and still being questioned. One specific moment that gets discussed is the testimony of Johanna Schoberg. She stated that she met Michael Jackson and clarified that she did not give him a massage. And that's it. A brief interaction, a single account. It neither builds a case nor closes one. It simply exists as one small piece in a much larger puzzle. So where does that leave us? It leaves us in a space that demands patience, clarity, and a willingness to resist easy conclusions. It asks us to acknowledge that being named in a document, especially one as vast and complex as this, does not automatically translate into wrongdoing. And perhaps for many fans, there's also something emotional here. Michael Jackson wasn't just a name, he was a voice, memory, and a presence that shaped generations. Seeing that name pulled into something so dark can feel unsettling, even personal. But maybe the real responsibility lies in holding on to facts, not fears. Because if we strip everything down, beyond the noise and beyond the exaggeration, the reality is simple. Michael Jackson appears in some Epstein-related materials. There are photos that place them in overlapping social settings, but there is no verified evidence in the released files so far linking him to any criminal activity connected to Epstein. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.